kutuita ili tutekeleze shughuli muhimu za kaunti na Jamhuri ya Kenya. Twakuomba ututeremshie baraka zako sisi tuliokutanika hapa na utujalie tuyatende na kufikiria mambo yote yatakayofikishwa mbele yetu kwa njia ya haki na uaminifu, ili utukufu na sifa zako ziendelezwe na ili kustawisha amani, ufanisi na heri ya kaunti hii yetu na wale ambao haja zao umezikabidhi mikononi mwetu. Amina. Kindly confirm if you have quorum so that the bell can be rung.
Honorable Speaker, there is no sufficient quorum.
Let's ring the bell for a minute. Whip, get people in.
Honorable Speaker, there is quorum now.
Orders of business.
Order number 1, administration of oath.
Next order.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Honorable members, I hope you have sufficiently been reminded that tomorrow in the afternoon we'll have the governor's address to commence our sessions. It was supposed to be today, but the executive side gave a call and sought that the same be postponed to tomorrow afternoon. So just be aware. Next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Next order.
Order number 4, papers.
Next order.
Order number 5, petitions.
Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Next order.
Order number 7, statements.
Honorable Elfas Cheriot.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to give a statement which was sought by the MCA for Lessos, Honorable Menkage, concerning the devolution statement, the devolution department on the preparedness concerning disaster management in the county. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Menkage sought a statement on 19th of February this month, and the chair directed that the statement be given.
Honorable Gideon.
Mr. Speaker, wish to inquire whether we can get copies of the said response so that we
The
can.
clerk's desk, kindly ensure the same is circulated to members. I don't know if those are the ones. Sergeant, ensure the same is circulated. Proceed, Honorable Elfas.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I was saying that Mr. Honorable Menkage sought a statement on 19 February 2019, and the chair directed that the statement be given to day 26 February 2019. Honorable Speaker, a letter was written to the CEC Administration and Public Service, and the CEC has made a reply and shared the same documentation to that effect. I want to acknowledge to this Honorable House that we have received today the statement from the CEC's office. And Honorable Speaker, I'm seeking for extension. I'm seeking for extension of time until Tuesday, 5th March 2019, Mr. Speaker. This one, Mr. Speaker, will enable my committee to look into the documents and respond effectively. I want to congratulate Honorable Menkech for seeking the same statement, and I want to assure the Honorable House that we have the documents. It is voluminous, it is also detailed, and it contains a lot. And I will ask and request the Honorable Speaker, the House, to give us time, our committee, because we received the statement today, and my committee actually wanted to go through it detail by detail. And I will also submit the same to Honorable Member for Lesos. I will also request that he will have time to go through it so that when we will be presenting to the floor of the House, we will read from the same page, Honorable Speaker. I beg to request the same. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Elfas, fair enough. I think this request coming from your committee as the chair, and you can confirm that you've been supplied with the requisite documentation, that the only thing you needed was an extra time to try get to summarize what we were asking for. I hope you will give it the urgency. My only concern is one, is that next week, the country will be having its devolution conference in Kirinyaga, and that tentatively would make it impossible for us to have our session. So next week becomes untenable. I wanted to ask that I'm sure you look to be very zealous and hardworking. And if I'm to go by those descriptions, I'm sure Thursday afternoon, the house will be properly furnished. And it is because you are trying to set the temple. We said, you see the way we insisted that departments have to comply immediately. The complaints we used to have here, I want us to bring it to an end. Honorable Kipkuri Chepkwony, you are consulting loudly. I believe you are a member of the same committee. You're the vice chair, if I'm not wrong.
Honorable Speaker, point of information.
Yes, Honorable Chepkwony.
Thank you. Honorable Speaker, I would wish to inform this Honorable House on the request that the Honorable Member for Chepchirwai has made. That, Honorable Speaker, we want to set precedents and proper precedents for that case, so that Honorable Speaker wouldn't want to be in a rush to table or deliver the response by the CEC to this Honorable House, and yet we are very much aware that there will be questions that will be arising from the same document. And I think from experience, you also notice that responses that come from the executive, more often than not, would need more inquiry into the same. So, Honorable Speaker, by us delivering that response, which was submitted today on Thursday, Honorable Speaker, I don't see it viable enough, Honorable Speaker, for us to be able to have a substantive presentation to this Honorable House, because we wouldn't want to be a committee that doesn't get the right feedback from the executive, Honorable Speaker. So, Honorable Speaker, I would be seeking, as the Vice Chair also for that committee, that you allow us, in view of the fact that we will be going to devolution conference, as soon as we are back from devolution conference, which is the next Tuesday after, we'll be able to deliver that, Honorable Speaker. Because, Honorable Speaker, if we were to deliver on Thursday, which you said a day away, and we are aware tomorrow we have session in the morning and the afternoon, and now that you already made even communication that the Honorable His Excellency the Governor will be making an address here, it will be an absurdity for the member for Tindred to be absent looking into documents for response on disaster preparedness instead of being present to listen to what Governor has to say. So, Honorable Speaker, with all due respect, Honorable Speaker, consider our plea that we present this report after devolution conference.
Speaker.
Honorable Swadi.
Yes, Mr. Speaker. According to the request by the chairman for devolution, for me personally, Mr. Speaker, I don't see the need of going to this the devolution conference, because even if we attend that devolution conference, MCS, we don't have say in that conference. It is just governors and senators. So maybe, to me, I can see we just continue with our session here to work for the people of Nandi. There's no need of going for that devolution conference where we don't even contribute in that devolution conference.
Honorable Swati, if you can guarantee me that there will be quorum, the assembly will not stop. In fact,
Point of order, Honorable
we'll be
Speaker.
more than happy.
Point of order, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Kipkirui.
Honorable Speaker, is it in order for the member for Kaboreng being in the second assembly and having served in the first assembly and aware that he attended all the devolution conferences that were organized in the first assembly, including the first of the second term, Honorable Speaker, to allege that there is nothing good that we get from the devolution conference, Honorable Speaker. And in fact, Honorable Speaker, we are also aware that the honorable member for Kaboreng has immediate future interests that touches clearly on matters devolution. And we expect him in the near future to serve this county as per Article 96, Honorable Speaker. So, Honorable Speaker, I think it will be setting bad precedents for the senior members to mislead the Honorable House and Honorable members that devolution conference doesn't serve any interest, Honorable Speaker. So, is the member for Kaboreng in order?
Honorable members, I think he was making his point of reference. It's more or less like a matter of opinion, and I can say your opinions differ. Honorable Swadi's opinion, he doesn't appreciate or feel that the devolution conference has so much in store for the MCA. Possibly, I got your complaint to be mostly organizational, whereby the resolution and the running of the conference generally has more bias towards the governors. That may be your honest opinion, same as with the Honorable Chepkony, but I'll be alive to the fact, Honorable Swadi, just have your seat. I'll be alive to the fact that he raised only a pertinent question, whether once we have the devolution conference, the chambers or the session can go on. I can guarantee that as long as there's always a quorum, we will always and we can always operate because we are within the session. But if the entire house is of the view that collectively all of them are going, then it would mean on Thursday we'll have to seek for adjournment until the other week. Honorable Swadi, you had.
I was just, Mr. Speaker, I was just referring to the last devolution conference, which was held in Kakamega. Most of members, even Honorable Kipkirui Chepkony, they were complaining because that one, it was embarrassment for members of county assembly. Because even you cannot get to the venue, members of county assembly, you are not even given it was really an embarrassment, Honorable Speaker. So I don't see the need of honorable members of county assembly attending a meeting where they are not recognized in that meeting. Thank you.
Honorable members, for the matter at hand, the devolution committee will have their fair share strictly as per the timeline. By the time we have our session next after this week, your report will be pending. I would also encourage you to maybe do 1 or 2, 3 field visit of the same just to enrich your work. You can pick 2 hotspots because the other places you will visit while you do your normal committee meetings. But for the purposes of this report, I can say you can take advantage of the extended time. You pick 2 or 3 disaster-prone areas. The rains have already started, so it is the best time to just pick 1 or 2 and try see whether they marry with the explanation. That is how you verify the words or the explanation given by the department. If, as a county, we say that we've already catered for this as a matter of disaster preparedness, when you visit the area, your job is to confirm. So the chair, Administration and Public Service Committee, you'll have your fair day the next session after this week. Next, Honorable Gideon. Honorable Gideon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. For the second time, I am standing to request to know where the statement I sought is concerning the TCES. This is the second week. The last time
Who was a tasked committee chairperson?
not really.
Or you are seeking the
I want
statement?
to seek a statement.
Let me find out on that right away. Honorable Terry.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Pursuant to Standing Order 45-2C1, I stand to seek a statement from the Chairperson, Tourism, Culture and Social Welfare Committee, considering the fact that there has been rampant cases of defilement and rape in the county. The chairperson should therefore report to this House. One, what action the Department of Social Welfare is taking to ensure that such social ills, including and not limited to rape and defilement, are eradicated, and what efforts are being undertaken by the committee and the department to ensure that justice is served to the victims of rape and defilement cases. Honorable Speaker, it's so sad that this February alone, about 3 girls have been defiled, one of them to death, and others are so young, ranging from 2 years to 2 very old women of 95 years of age. Both of them were raped to death in this county, and so many other cases have been reported. The latest one was yesterday, when a 9-year-old girl was found to have been repeatedly defiled to an extent that the girl cannot even hold urine, and is still out, no treatment has happened. So, Honorable Speaker, it's so sad that in the county, not even a fraction of the 5.3 billion that comes to this county has been allocated to issues of gender concern and gender mainstreaming, even considering the fact that women in this country are 52% of the population, Honorable Speaker. It is so sad that things are happening, done by whoever does them, and even justice has not been served. It is so sad even to know that one assistant chief from Nandi Hills, an assistant chief who is an administrator, who is supposed to safeguard the security of the women in this county, is a perpetrator of rape, and goes even to an extent of
Honorable
saying,
Speaker, an inquiry from Honorable
Honorable
Terry,
Kang.
that is she moving a motion or she's debating, is she moving a sort of singing a statement? I want to inquire from you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Terry, I want you to be constrained. I understand.
I'm seeking a statement on.
So, Honorable
Speaker,
Terry,
and
you've already done your statement in writing.
yeah, I really
So
wanted
you
the
can't-
point to reach home, but I hope he's not protecting the perpetrators, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Terry.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Terry, you are out
Point
of
of order.
order. Honorable Gideon.
I think she needs to withdraw, Mr. Speaker. Even if she's out of order, she needs to withdraw and apologize to
Honorable
Honorable
Terry.
Deputy Speaker.
Honorable Terry, come back and withdraw the same statement right away.
I want to take this opportunity. Thank you for giving me the opportunity and considering, or in a second thought. You know, Honorable Speaker,
Honorable Terry. Honorable Terry, my
I
instructions are
apologize
clear.
to Honorable Deputy Speaker, and I want to believe that is among those who are protecting the girls, the women, and of course I know a 9-year-old could be a daughter to any of these honorable members, Honorable Speaker, and it's painful to, yeah. So can the department furnish this house with the report? Thank you, as soon as possible, Honorable Speaker.
The chair, tourism and tourism. I think the Committee on Tourism, Gender and Social Welfare.
Point of clarification, Honorable.
So the chair, I think you'll have, I think when we resume back session the other week after DevCon, I expect the same to have been
Point of clarification, Honorable.
Honorable Chepkwony.
Honorable Speaker, I want to seek clarification from the Honorable Member Teresa Mayo. In her talk, which was interrupted by the Honorable Member for Chepkumnya, she was talking about the county government not putting money, no budgeting. Honorable Speaker, and yet, if my memory serves me right, this county assembly has before allocated money to establishment of a recovery center within Kapsabet County referral. So, Honorable Speaker, probably what she should be telling us or asking is clearly what is the status of the establishment of a gender recovery center in Kapsabet, because it is in the budget line and the chair for budget can allude to that, or even the chair for culture and social services, Honorable Speaker, because I'm sure that was in the budget. So that we are not confused. She's asking of budget for perpetrators or asking for
Honorable
budget for
Chepkwony.
the victims.
Honorable Chepkwony, all those will be dealt with when the chair of the committee will respond back with the statement. I'm sure we can be able to prosecute all those issues. So we hold our horses. Honorable Kebene, I saw you standing. You had a statement?
Oh, okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think the statement ahead, I wanted to give out the statement, but unfortunately, and fortunately, sorry, Madam Honorable Rose, she is in, probably she can give.
Okay, Honorable Ross.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the Committee of Transport and Infrastructure, I would like to respond to the statement sought by Honorable Gideon Koech on 19th February 2019 as follows. 1. Which company did the county government enter into contract for provision of fuel? Thank you. The county government of Nandi entered into a contract with the National Oil for the provision of fuel. Number 2, has the company been complying to the terms of the contract? The company, in brackets, National Oil, has been complying with the terms of contract despite a few challenges regarding payment. Number 3, what is the Department of Roads and Infrastructure doing to deal with the rampant cases of fuel shortages for roads machines? The Department of Roads and Infrastructure can't do much regarding the rampant of fuel shortage. This is because the Department of Finance and Economic Planning handles all issues pertaining fuel. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Gideon.
Mr. Speaker, it is a sad day indeed. I can't have any better time. I don't know if first of all the committee members of roads needs to confirm that they sat and and came up with that particular, or rather sanction that particular statement should be read in this assembly. Response to the statement should be read in this assembly. I happen to know that even our able leader of majority is a member of the roads committee. I want to believe that he was not part of the, not to say that all the rest are not equally able members. Mr. Speaker, the response is so fake. I wish Honorable Menge should be given a chance to comment on this. He has the right English to make sure that this statement is well responded to, Mr. Speaker. First of all, I would request that we be supplied with a copy of the contract. A copy of the contract. so that we can confirm, because one, from the statement, they are saying that the Nandi County government entered into a contract with National Oil. I know for a fact that that is false, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker,
It's a
in
very
fact,
powerful indictment that it has implication if it is confirmed that they are falsely lied. to this
and that's
House.
why I'm saying, Mr. Speaker, let me withdraw that statement false and say that this house needs to be supplied with a copy of the contract entered between Nandi County government and National Oil. Because I know at some point in time we shall be discussing whether it is true or false when we reach that stage. Secondly, when you say that the Department of Roads can't do much with the rampant shortage because it falls under the finance department, and you are saying that the county entered into a contract with National Oil, Mr. Speaker, I think I must say that I am not satisfied with the response, and for a fact we have not. In fact, I have just gotten from Honorable Rose on behalf of the committee the message, yet we have not supplied with any copies of the same. We are not supplied with copies of the response. Then when you say they are complying with the terms, because the question was whether this company is complying with the terms as stipulated in the contract, because we know that we have been having Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have now the copy. Has the company been complying to the terms of the contract? The answer is the company National Oil has been complying with the terms of contract despite the. Mr. Speaker, I think this response is so fake. It's so fake. I don't think it should be admissible here. And we need also to be, Mr. Speaker, we need to be given the response from the CEC. This is what the committee did.
I
We have the response.
You are being supplied with it right away.
No, been supplied with this.
No, I'm
copy.
saying, Honorable Rose, you need to speak to the microphone.
Honorable Gideon, this is the report we were given by the. Yes, I was reading the report we were given by the CCs.
Honorable Gideon was still on the floor. I would rather he exhausts first. Proceed, Honorable Gideon.
Mr. Speaker, I must say that this statement is substandard. The response is substandard. I don't want to indict too much the committee, but they should have done due diligence, send off the CEC if this is the response they give, for them to go on the background check and give us the right response. Because this is substandard to say the least, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Mengech.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I'm not standing to speak English. I'm standing to speak to a serious issue here, which I can't forget. My first statement to the same department through the Committee on Transport and Infrastructure was worse than this. This is just a continuation and evidence enough that the CEC and the personnel in this department don't belong there. Honestly, Honorable Speaker, looking at the responses, these do not even qualify to be standard 6 English passage responses. They don't. They don't. Honorable Gideon here is right. Because, Honorable Speaker, when you ask, has the company been complying on the terms of the contract? And then the department writes one sentence as if this is a yes, no question. Honorable Speaker, I think the back and forth issues we have had with the department is long overdue. It is time now for us to move to the next level. And then secondly, Honorable Speaker, as you can look at question number 3, there's another department that keeps recurring. Today, we had a session with the CEC and his team from the Department of Roads and Infrastructure. There is a department that keeps recurring. That is the Department of Finance. The blame game, as Honorable Singoya said during our last session here, everyone is pushing the back to Department of Finance. Honorable members, this is a high call for us to move to the next level. Our engagement has ceased to be a statement seeking or a move to the next level. Honorable Speaker, the CEC for Finance has the power, for example, to sanction expenditure, for example, to approve budgets. We were shocked, Honorable Speaker, to learn that the budget that this Honorable House approved and passed a few weeks ago or a month ago was not uploaded, because that is evidence from the Department of Lands and Environment. So looking at this statement, Honorable Speaker, why would we be paying somebody 350,000 every month? Why? Why would we be paying somebody that kind of salary? Honestly, Honorable Speaker, this is an insult to the Supreme House. This is an insult.
Honorable Kuruch Kwan.
To be associated with such responses. Why I say this, Honorable Speaker, is by the time a CEC has the guts to respond to a very serious question in such simplicity, it only means two things. One, he has no content, has no control, doesn't understand his job. Or two, he takes this county assembly for granted. Honorable Speaker, who on earth doesn't know, like I stand with what the member for Nandi said, that this is clearly a lie. And Honorable Speaker, we can be taken to task with the Honorable Member for Nandi on that. The county government of Nandi has not entered into a contract with National Oil for provision of fuel. National Oil is a brand. There are people who are retailing for National Oil. So will they today, can the same committee tell us and show us invoices that have been invoiced by National Oil? National Oil, Total, all that Shell, they are franchised. So, Honorable Speaker, it would be funny to be told, and who in this assembly, save probably for the honorable members who are representing special interest, who doesn't understand that Nandi County does not only get fuel from National Oil, it also gets fuel from Total. Unless we fuel also in those petrol stations. And often than not, you will find county vehicles being fueled. So, Honorable Speaker, there is a shame. They say the Department of Roads and Infrastructure can't do much regarding the rampant fuel shortage. This is because the Department of Finance and Economic Planning handles all issues pertaining fuel. Then why did they have to respond? They should have said, let the Department of Finance respond. And Honorable Speaker, why I'm saying again this is shame, is because, Honorable Speaker, I remember clearly during the vetting of the CEC for Finance, I sought to ask this one question: the separation of accounts for departments, so that, Honorable Speaker, we are not centralizing all the money issues in one department. So there is no independence. Clearly, this is a pointer that there is no independence of departments, so that procurement, payments, all of them are centered in one department. And Honorable Speaker, I would say this. This is one of the reasons the first government fell, because there was too much that has been, too much power that has been bestowed in one office or one officer, that he cannot be able to run the county government properly. Honorable Speaker, technically, when they say they cannot do much, so he's only telling us, make do with what we have. Take it or leave it. And Honorable Speaker, I am sure the people of Tinderet and all members here, we are not taking it. If he thinks we will take this, we will not take this. Honorable Speaker, I would only suggest it is also probably, with all due respect to the member for Kaptel Kamoyo, unless the CEC was intending to abuse the member of Kaptel Kamoyo. Because, Honorable Speaker, by trying to use this so funny English, you should be told that the member for Kaptel Kamoyo understands the difference between national oil as a brand and a retailer using national oil. So, Honorable Speaker, this is a case that I will seek the Honorable House that we revisit. And to revisit, we will revisit in a very serious way. I would suggest, Honorable Speaker, from where you sit, Honorable Speaker, I'm sure even you, when you read this, it deserves that this statement be reverted back and we seek more. Like the member for Nandi has said, fine, for us to be very clear, can we have the contract? Can we have the terms that they are saying that the national oil has been complying? Probably one of the terms that they have been complying is they've always been told delay fuel for the roads equipment so that there is delay of work. So if that is one of the terms and they have been compliant, well and good. But we cannot be told terms of contract despite a few challenges regarding payments. So again, payment by who? So that's the question, Honorable Speaker. So I would say that this response by the chairman for roads be reverted back and we seek more on this. And probably, Honorable Speaker, you should give direction. And actually, we have insisted. We were seeking earlier on that the Committee on Administration and Public Service, we need more time for us to be able to interrogate the response that has been submitted to our committee before we respond. So these committees, Honorable Speaker, I think we should have proper standards. And these standards should be set and circulated to the CECs so that they know when they are responding, what is the threshold of a response to this Honorable House. This does not meet the threshold. I pity the teachers in this Honorable House because they have seen answers before, and this is not one of the answers. Thank you.
Honorable Hillary.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It was a pivot point between me and the Honorable Member for Terik. Mr. Speaker, I also rise to also register my concerns over such a response. And Mr. Speaker, it is indeed not proper, just to use that word, for this response to be brought as it is. Whoever is responsible, Mr. Speaker, I think as a house we are yet to find out. Because one, as a member of this house, I want also to point the finger to the member, to the Committee on Roads. Because honestly, the committee didn't have to submit this report to us in the first place. And then secondly, if indeed this was responded by the department, then again, the department didn't have to respond in this way to the committee. I think, with all due respect and the officers that we are holding as a steward. We are holding all these positions as a steward to the many other people behind us. We are holding it on behalf of the Nandi County. And it will be improper for us to consider and accept such a response on behalf of the whole populace. Me, as a member for Chemelil Chemase, it will be disregard to my people to do that. And Honorable Kipuruje Kwan just pointed out, there is a name that operates a business. And that business can be branded butter, it can be branded Coca-Cola, it can be branded Total, it can be branded National Oil. So today, if you go and buy shoes from X and Y company, and you come back and ask, where did you buy? And you say, I bought at butter. So how much did you pay? I paid butter. No, that will be very wrong. Okay, but I honorable member for what is it called? Kapchorwa knows that better. He's not butter himself, but he sells butter. So, Mr. Speaker, on behalf of many of us who have these sentiments, I think we can even take up this matter, all of us as a house. It will be disregard to the people of Nandi, or even to this house, for us to accept just responses like this. If we wanted a flag to be raised here, we know who raises the flag. It is the officer on duty. But who issues instructions on how and when the flag to be raised? It is the commandant. It is the superintendent. So if the CEC, who is the superintendent, is incapable of issuing instructions as to when and where the flag will be raised, we put somebody else to issue the instructions. It is that simple. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Fred.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika kwa nafasi ambayo umenipatia. Ya kwanza, Mheshimiwa Spika, nimesimama kuunga mkono kiranja wangu Mheshimiwa Spika kwa ile kazi amefanya Mheshimiwa Spika. Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi ni mmoja wa kamati hiyo Mheshimiwa Spika. Yale tuliambiwa ni haya Mheshimiwa ameleta. Lakini sasa bunge wafanye kazi yao. Kwa sababu kama walitudanganya Mheshimiwa wameangalia. Mheshimiwa Spika, sisi wote tulikuwa tumefungua wasi ya kwamba Mheshimiwa wakuja usikie yale mambo wanafanya. Mheshimiwa Spika, tulikuwa tunasema sisi ya kwamba tumeamua kufanya kazi yetu, na nashukuru Mheshimiwa. Nimesikia vile wanachangia, nimeona kweli wanataka kufanya kazi yao. Ule mtu hajafanya kazi yake Mheshimiwa Spika, aachana na sisi. Kwa sababu tunataka tuseme, unahesabiwa hakuna mafuta ya kutengeneza barabara, lakini gari ya waziri Mheshimiwa Spika. Tunataka tuseme ya kwamba kama hakuna mafuta magari yote isimame. Kwa Mheshimiwa Spika, kuna siku niliambiwa hakuna mafuta. Lakini nikapata fago ikitengeneza shule ya deaf school. Nikashangaa, yani mafuta imetoka wapi? Nikasikia siku ikitengeneza kuna kanisa pastor mwingine na ya kanisa ya War sijui inaitwa nini? Imeenda kutengenezea wananchi wananiuliza Mheshimiwa, tulikuomba jana ututengenezee mtoni, bwana ukatengenezea kwa hiyo kanisa. Ndio nilikuwa nashangaa Mheshimiwa Spika. Ya pili Mheshimiwa Spika, nilikuwa na engineer ya kusimamia barabara ya Mgweni. Sisi tumepanga kazi karibu tumaliza, tunasikia pengine na mali nyingine. Nikauliza, sasa kama huyu tumepanga naye kazi hatujamaliza, wewe unahamisha. Ule mwingine mwenye amekuwa maji, ndio sisi tuliambiana kama Mheshimiwa na Mheshimiwa Governor ya kwamba lazima tuhakikishe tumemaliza. Hata kwa wadi yangu pesa ya barabara imeisha. Na ya Kapsabet imekuaje? Ama pengine ya Kapsabet imeisha na ya Nandi zimeenda wapi? Kwa sababu kila wadi lazima ikuwe na mafuta yake. Sisi wakati ile Mheshimiwa Spika tulikuwa tunatengeneza barabara 3 kwa mwaka. Na hiyo ilikuwa ni pesa ya ward, kama ni ya Kapsabet ni ya Kapsabet. Tunapatia contractor anaweka culvert na maram. Sisi pesa ya hiyo mwaka ingine wamechukua pesa yote wana machines. Lakini haikufaulu. Kuna siku kiranja wetu alitaja majina ya wale madriver wanaharibu kazi. Hawajafutwa mpaka leo. Sasa inamaanisha kwamba wanajuana na viongozi wao. Kwa sababu umeambiwa huyu jamaa amepatikana na makosa fulani, hajafutwa kazi. Ya Mheshimiwa ya Koserai alipata mtu akihamisha tairi. Amepeana habari pale wakamdanganya kwamba ule amefutwa. Ule mwingine alitoroka ni mtu mwenye alikuwa na makosa. Ule mwenye alikuwa anapeana tairi mbona hajafutwa kazi mpaka leo? Mimi mwenyewe nimepata lori ikiuza maram. Nimepeana habari pale mpaka sasa haijawahi futwa mtu kazi. Sasa inamaanisha kwamba hili maneno imepangwa. Na tunataka tuambie Mheshimiwa Governor ya kwamba yeye mwenyewe angalia watu yake, kwa sababu sisi tuko na fimbo. Tutasimamisha mtu kazi. Kwa sababu mimi siwezi kubali kufukuzwa. Mimi Mheshimiwa anajua hata mimi nikifutwa kwa hii kazi nikitembea mahali hakuna mtu ataniandika kazi. Mimi sina labda nikuwe makanika. Sasa mimi nikuja nicheze na kazi yangu tutakutana na mtu. Kwa sababu hatuwezi kupembeleza mtu hata kidogo. Kuna waheshimiwa hapa wamewacha kazi yao wakitaka kuja kwa siasa na maisha yao. Kama alitudanganya aende nyumbani, tutengeneze kamati, tukutanishe ile kamati inakusimamia wao wachunguzwe, na hiyo hakikisha kwamba tutafuatilia. Ya mwisho, Mheshimiwa Spika, kila mara tunadanganywa. Waziri hapa amekuja mpaka ametuambia ukweli ni kudanganywa. Mheshimiwa Spika, kuna waziri sitaki kutaja jina yake, ameenda mahali ingine kwa wadi yangu anatusi wananchi. Ameenda kule Chepterit ametusi wananchi. Na ni mawaziri watatu na nitataja majina hivi karibuni. Sisi nimeelewana ya kwamba kama yeye hataki kufanya kazi, unajua akitusi wananchi gavana hawezi fukuzwa peke yake. Mimi na gavana tutafukuzwa nyumbani. Na sisi wawili ndio tumeomba. Tunataka tuelewane ya kwamba kama sisi tunakuja kudanganywa kama bunge ya Nandi, sisi tuko na akili. Tutaangalia vile tutafanya, tutengeneza kamati, tuko na viongozi ya bunge hii, tuko na majority leader hapa, tuko na minority leader na wale viongozi wengine. Angalieni maneno mara moja tumalize hii maneno. Ama sisi tufanye. Kwa sababu tunajua ya kwamba kila mtu ataomba kura kwake. Na mimi nimeambia waheshimiwa asanteni sana. Hiyo ndio jinsi tutafanya sasa. Kwa sababu hakuna vile tutafanyiwa. Mpaka sasa ingekuwa inafaa tumetengenezwa barabara 6. Mpaka sasa kama pesa iko chini. Lakini tunaona ni ngumu na nataka niambie kamati ya barabara asanteni kwa hiyo kazi yenu, tumeaita wakuja hapa. Mimi niliona wasiri, nikaona CEO na nikaona director. Na kama ni uongo basi waende nyumbani.
Honorable Komen.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Actually, this is an abuse to this Honorable House because when we pass budgets, we pass figures. We need quantifiable reports. When we ask for a statement, we need a statement that is actually quantifiable, that we can actually deduce from it and say out of the 65 million, for example, that we dedicated to purchase fuel, we've used how much and how much is still remaining. So such a blanket report should not actually be, it is more of an abuse to this house. So I tend to think we need to actually take serious steps against the concern. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Sanga.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Me, I tend to differ with the members. You know, when we are seeking statements, at times it depends on how you frame your questions. Some questions are too direct. It might not.
Point of order, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Mengech.
Yeah. Is it in order for Honorable Sanga to impute that members of this county assembly do not know how to frame questions?
Honorable Sanga, can you quantify your statement?
Okay, I was trying to paraphrase my statement. Like for instance, when you are asked which company did the county government end a contract for the provision of fuel, it is either National Oil or any other company. So it's a direct question. Or none.
Point of order, Honorable Speaker.
Should it be
Honorable Chepkwony?
Honorable Speaker, is it in order for the famous vet doctor, Dr. Sanga, Honorable Speaker, to ridicule this Honorable House that when we ask the question, which company, Honorable Speaker, and yet, Honorable Speaker, the same Honorable member, famous vet doctor, if you look at his business premises, they have been branded Sidai. Honorable Speaker, if today we wanted to ask who is the owner of that shop and we are told it is Sidai, will that be right, Honorable Speaker? And yet we know Honorable Dr. Sanga has a trading company, but he's only branding his business as Sidai.
Can you conclude quickly? Make your comment and then I need to give someone else.
Okay, maybe Honorable Chepkwony, one specifically because that is an franchisee of National Oil. So he wanted specifically to give the entrepreneur of that national oil because it is an
Habari,
FDC.
Mheshimiwa Spika.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Fred.
Mheshimiwa Spika, ningependa kupata habari kuhusu Mheshimiwa Lesos. Ameuliza maswali kama yuko kwa sheria. Mpaka sasa Mheshimiwa Spika hujatoa uamuzi ya kwamba yeye yuko kwa sheria kuuliza hivyo ama hapana, Mheshimiwa Spika. Kwa sababu lazima kama mtu ametoa kama hoja ni damu, mtu akiuliza lazima ajibiwe kwamba yuko kwa sheria ama yuko kwa sheria, Mheshimiwa Spika.
Honorable Fred, I intentionally wanted Dr. Sanga to conclude his remarks because the issues raised by Honorable Mengech and Honorable Chepkony were basically challenging his assertion. And now that he is not the author of the same statement, barely much, as long as he is not misled, he is not justified. The argument between the two sides is about the nature of the questioning. That's why I needed you to conclude right away.
I think I've concluded. It is just the nature of the question, how the question is being framed. Because some questions are actually direct, yes or no. Like, has the company been complying with terms of contract? It is yes or no. I think.
Honorable Bwambok.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I know as one of the members of Transport and Infrastructure, and that's a very debate has come. So I really, Honorable Speaker, that the answers as reported to the Assembly were very shallow. And really, as one of the members, I really apologize because this cannot come from really a CC or any member who has been given such a target. However, although Honorable Dr. Sanga is trying to just use another way all round, it's wrong because even in his premises, he has written something like Kibois. What is that? So why is he now just using another minutes so that we feel as the honorable members that it is good that it has come to the Assembly so that as honorable members, you know the challenges which are there. When we just called them last week, many of you came in. They did ask several questions. Other questions were challenged in one way or another. So that shows automatically that the team of the executive are not failing only the transport and infrastructure team, but the whole assembly. So the whole assembly has got the right. Here is the